We are talking today all about the supplies that you need to buy and bring with you if you are going to be doing any type of market, and I'm talking anything from a farmer's market to a craft show to a weekend-long market. We're gonna cover everything in this video. If you're new here, my name's Caitlin. I make videos that help you grow and scale your small business so that you can quit your 9-to-5 job and live a life that you love. So let's just get into the list. The first one is going to be a tent. You may not need a tent for some markets, but even for my local farmer's market, I needed a tent. So I'm also going to link all of the items down below that I purchased, so that will make it super easy for you guys too. Most of them are from Amazon too, which is amazing. The first thing is a tent, and a lot of the markets that you're going to be doing require a certain amount of weight on the legs. Trust me, you do not want to buy a cheap tent here. I have seen so many tents fly over, fall over, collapse, and they actually can be very, very dangerous. So you don't want to deal with any of that. So I have linked my tent down below, and it's great. I actually can set it up by myself, which is even better. And I also have put down below extra tent weights. These ones that I purchased are amazing because they actually have a strap that you can put them together. So if you are by yourself and you're setting your tent up by yourself, these are really easy to just bring with you. And I have tried to put, I believe I put 30 pounds on each leg. That is the sandbag that I have that came with the tent, and then the other two weights. I bought 2 sets of 40-pound weights. So I had a total of 30 pounds on each leg, and I have never had an issue. Highly, highly recommend buying extra weights because the stakes that they give you and the sandbags are not going to be enough on a windy day. The other thing you need is a table or multiple tables depending upon your setup. We'll get to some other display pieces later, but I have these great folding tables that actually fold in half. I do set up most of the time by myself, so these are fantastic because they also fit in the back of my car, which is a sedan. So if you don't have a truck with a flatbed or an SUV with tons of space, these tables are awesome because they do fit in the trunk of a regular sedan car, and I usually just bring one to a farmer's market, but for my weekend-long markets, I do bring 2. And then you also want a tablecloth. Nobody likes the look of an actual folding table, so the ones that I linked down below are great. They are a little cheapy looking in my opinion, however, they don't wrinkle. I think wrinkles are very unattractive on a tablecloth booth, and these are more of like a polyester look, and they just are a little bit cleaner. And once you put your product on top and you put all of your decor around it, I think that it kind of hides the fact that they're not the prettiest fabric tablecloth you could buy, but they're super practical and affordable. You have to bring a chair. I know there's some controversy around whether or not sitting and standing is a good thing, but if you are going to be at a market all day, do yourself a favor and bring a chair or a stool. I bought these 2 stools from Target a while ago, but they're pink. They match my brand colors. We'll get to brand in a minute, but I just definitely think you need something. You need to give your feet a break. Even if you wear the most comfortable shoes, you're going to want to sit down throughout the day, and you deserve to. And I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with sitting down at your booth. So display pieces. My big tip for you is create height. You have people that are going to be walking by your booth or walking by your table, and if everything is flat on the table, it's not going to draw them in. Think about when you go into a store in the mall or something like an Anthropologie. They merchandise so well, and if you notice on their tables, they have risers or boxes where you can sort of see things cascade down. So I would start to build a Pinterest board, which is a great tip, of just some things, or even just go to an Anthropologie or stores in the mall and just see how they merchandise their tables, and you'll start to get some really great tips on how you can create really good visual impact in your booth. Some of my favorite things too are a shelving system. My husband actually helped me build these white shelves, which I get questions on almost daily when I post about them. And the reason why we built them was because I just couldn't find shelves that you could break down and put in the back of a car. These actually don't fit in my car. These fit in his truck. These are on the heavier side. We picked wood that was a little too heavy, but they are DIY and we painted them white and they've been amazing. And it's great in a booth like this because you can actually see that it takes up one whole section and one whole side. And it is kind of an eye-catching showpiece, especially when I put my jar soaps on there that are very colorful. It is something that definitely draws customers in. So if you have the ability to do something like this, I highly suggest it. And I honestly wish that I did more of them when I was doing markets because I think that the height and the ability to merchandise just makes it feel more like a store. Some other display pieces that were great for me, I had these wire baskets that I searched for forever and I finally found them from World Market. Another thing I get asked all the time about is where did I get these gold baskets from? And the trick is I spray painted them gold. I am very big on brand and I think that I'm gonna do a whole other video in this series of how to incorporate your brand into your booth. We're gonna leave that for another video. But these baskets were like an aluminum gray color and it was just sort of dreary and not my vibe at all. So we spray painted them and they were amazing for little bath bombs and my mini whipped soaps and things like that. So I've left the link down below for those. They are on the pricier side, but they're very well made. The next part is a banner. You do need a banner and in a lot of cases, markets will require you to have a vendor sign of some sort that identifies you. Plus, people might be looking for you and they want to be able to see what booth you have. I just got mine from Vistaprint. They're pretty affordable. It's a vinyl banner that has grommets on the side. So you just want to make sure you also have something that you can use to put your banner up. Some people have used twine, bungee cords. There's a plethora of videos you can watch on how to put your banners up, but definitely suggest getting a banner. I have also seen the ones that are retractable that you could put in the front of your booth, which might be eye-catching, but I personally loved just having my banner in the background. It made it super pretty in any of the photos that people took. The next sort of section of things that you're gonna wanna get together are your cash out stuff. So when someone wants to purchase something, I actually did a really cute section this past market where I had a little folding table and I had my iPad stand, and my card reader, and it was a little station where I could have my mom actually sit and do all of the packing. So we had our bags and our tissue paper and any materials that you wanna put in those bags. I would highly suggest doing some kind of postcard or card that you can put in every single bag that someone can repurchase something on your website. And I think giving them a discount is great. I usually do 10%. But if somebody finds your stuff in a market and it's their first experience and they want to go and buy from you again, if they have a little coupon code or an incentive, they might do that. So having a little cash out station is great because people are always looking to see like, who should I buy from? And if your booth gets super busy, you're gonna wanna have something where people can kind of sneak out, pay for their stuff, which I highly suggest it being sort of on the outside, outskirts. The further people have to go into your booth to do that stuff, the harder. And that way you can have them check out and then they can just scoot right out and make plenty of room for new customers. Extra battery packs. I honestly only brought one. I probably should have purchased two, but you are sometimes on a weekend long market, you're gonna be in a field, you're gonna be in a place where your phone might be searching for a lot of service, you're gonna be opening it constantly, your iPad, you're gonna be having tons of times where your battery is going to die down. And a lot of these markets will go from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 or 5 o'clock at night, which is a very long time to be running transactions on your phone or iPad. So please, whatever you do, go do yourself a favor and buy an extra battery pack that you can charge all of your appliances with. Trust me, you're going to need it. And depending upon what time of year it is, you want to make your space as comfortable as possible. I was doing a lot of markets in June through September, which is summer and is hot. And If you have your tent sides up like I did, I wanted people to have an experience in my tent, so I kept my tent sides up, but that actually causes it to be super hot inside, especially if you're in the middle of a field and the sun is baking down on you. It gets really hot in your tent. So I purchased these rechargeable battery operated fans, and let me tell you, they are worth it. They're a little bit expensive. I bought 4 of them and I put them all around. It's helpful for you as you're in there cooking away, but it's also helpful for customers. Before I bought the fans, I had to have people walk into my booth and almost walk immediately out because it was just too hot for them. So you want to make sure that your space is as comfortable as possible for not only yourself, but your customers as well. And then on top of that, pack yourself some snacks and some water. You are probably gonna be in an event where you'll have the opportunity to get something to drink, but if the lines are long, you don't wanna wait in line for food or water. And if you're by yourself, you don't really want to leave your space for that long. You're missing out on potential sales. My big tip that I learned from someone else, I think one of my friends, is to make a little toolbox. And what I mean by toolbox is I just got a little Rubbermaid bin, and in it I have pens, pencils, paper, I have tape, I have tissues, hand sanitizer, scissors, anything that you might need in a pinch to put something up or take something down or help do anything. You will be so surprised at how often you use this box, and I just literally after every market will just replenish it, and I keep it with all of my market stuff so I don't ever have to really worry about what to pack. But I always have this little toolkit with me, and I put extra business cards in there. Anything that I would need from like an office supplies standpoint goes in this toolkit, and it has become a lifesaver not only for me but vendors around me. Everybody will come ask you for your scissors. Like it's gonna get annoying, but you're gonna be like the winner of the day because you're the one that thought to bring scissors. So, and the last thing, which I actually just purchased myself, and don't ask me why I didn't do it sooner, is a dolly or a wagon to bring all of your stuff. Even if it's to an indoor market or a farmer's market and you don't have tons and tons of stuff to bring, it is going to be so difficult for you to hand carry all of your bins of stuff, all of your tents and your weights and all of that. So buy a wagon. This one came highly recommended. It's on its way. I think it's coming to me tomorrow. I have a market that I'm doing this coming weekend, so that's why I finally bought it. But buy something that is sturdy enough to use on like a field. So in a lot of these cases for markets that I was doing, they're in the middle of a field that has just been like mowed down, which isn't always the best. The terrain is really rough. And the one thing I forgot is prices. You must put prices on your products. I actually don't put prices on each individual item. I have gold frames that are very on brand that list all of the prices, and I have them all throughout my booth so that customers don't ever have to worry. 9 times out of 10, if a customer doesn't know what something costs, they're not going to ask you, because I think in their mind, once they ask you, it's very either hard to turn down or they feel like they have to buy it from you. So a lot of the times they won't even ask. Make it easy for your customers to know how much things cost. I hope you guys found this video super helpful, and the next video we're going to actually talk about the fun stuff in the market and booth displays. This is where I feel like I excel. I am all about brand, so I'm excited to share with you how I brought my brand into my boring market booth and really made it an experience for my customers. So make sure you come back and check that one out. I will see you in that video.